right? For the first time, and just continue to just let yourself be a novice and not take yourself so seriously.
Now she being modest because her pictures are cute.
Girl, I'm trying.
This is Lisa Brown, and it's another edition of Hustle Talks, and this is Side Hustle Saturday. And guess what? This is a Where Are They Now edition, and this one is I'm very particularly fond of because this is my very first guest I had when I did my interview back in 2020.
That's 2020.
Oh, child. Okay. Back from 2020, she was my very first guest. And y'all, I had to check up on her to see what she was doing. She's been doing big things out here. So without further ado, my guest today is Jennifer Washington-Woodford of JM Botanicals. And she has done amazing things. She's moved onward and upward since I interviewed her back in 2020. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. I forgot to say CEO and owner of JM Botanicals.
Yes.
Let me get that right.
Yeah, I mean, you was right. Yeah. Yes.
Tell us about, before we even jump into where you've been, where you're going, and where you're at now, tell us about JM Botanicals.
Yeah. So JM Botanicals, we're a handcrafted body care company. So we specialize in sensitive skin. I started my company because my daughter had really bad eczema. And so we were looking for natural alternatives to the medications that they were offering us. Mm-hmm. Plus, as she was getting older, I wanted her to have options like bath bombs and other lotions and things like that to feel included, but that wouldn't irritate her skin.
Yeah.
So that's really why I started JM Botanicals. It was more of a passion project that I started to just make for friends and family. And then people were trying to buy it. And it was at that point where I was like, okay, this might really be a business. Mm-hmm. It's more than just a hobby. So 4 years later, here we are. Yeah.
So here we are right now. So since you've been on my show, since 2020 to where you are today, tell us about the entrepreneurial journey. What has been going on with you, child?
Girl, the entrepreneurial journey is something definitely, it is a journey, I will say. So back in 2020, I had just gotten started. I was operating out of my home and really just popping up to markets, selling on Etsy. Since then, I mean, we're now in a new production space that we kind of double as a retail space in Worthington. We have done a lot of collaborations. Personally, for business development, I've done cohorts, we've done pitch competitions where we've won funding, just really getting a lot more involved in the community. We've joined chambers, just really threw myself into this entrepreneurial life and just really allowed myself to just absorb all that is out there and available for me. So it's not always a good time, as we were talking about, but I certainly wouldn't change that for anything. I really enjoyed the journey and just the support that the community has given. So
now, when you started JM Botanicals, I remember you was a working girl.
Yeah.
And so you were working and you were doing your side hustle.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that, because that's a lot to
It is a lot. Yeah, and especially too, since I started JM Botanicals extremely scrappy. Like I mentioned, it was really just small scale, just providing to friends and family, doing a pop-up here and there. As I started to see the demand and the growth of JM Botanicals, it was a decision that I had to make for my sanity, my self-care, for my family as well, because my husband was like, look, you got to choose a lane, because if you're straddling, you're just wearing yourself out on both sides. So actually August of 2024 is when I decided just to completely step away from corporate America and really just jump full into JM Botanicals. And it's been lovely. But I mean, you got to create a strategy for you to transition out. That's what I would definitely recommend. If you are in a growth state of your business, just make sure you have an escape route, because I mean, I worked in corporate retail for 16 years.
Right.
So, you get 16 years of consistent checks.
Yeah.
Right. So when you don't, it's just it is definitely something you need to plan for, to account for. Business ebbs and flows. I'm in a in a business that is gift focused, right? So like holidays and Valentine's and Mother's Days, those are my jam. But the other months, you have to get creative and try to figure out ways to continue to bring revenue in.
So tell me about how that transition was, because I know for me, when I left corporate America and now I'm full time as an entrepreneur, it was rough.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I had PTSD, I swear. I swear, I think something. But tell me, like, what were some of your struggles when you left corporate America, besides the check stop weekly or bi-weekly or however?
Yeah.
You know, what were some of the struggles that you had?
I think for me, so like I mentioned, retail's my background. So I kind of naively was like, well, I've been running businesses for X amount of years through this corporation, not really thinking about all the different departments that kind of went into the work that I was executing. So like SOPs, I didn't have any SOPs. It was me and a recipe book. And so when I started to scale and grow, I was like, I can't do all this by myself.
Yeah.
And then when I try to bring people in to help, I'm like, well, I don't know how to tell y'all what to do. Like, you know, so it's like things like that, like having strategies in place, changing your mental state. So for me, I will work. And I don't carve out time, which is ironic because I'm a self-care company.
Right.
I didn't really do a great job of like carving out space for me to just be Jennifer, not Jennifer, the business owner. So I had to be more intentional about that. And also like time with your friends, you know, like hanging out. Like my friends were probably like, girl, do you like me still? Like I haven't seen you. So just being aware of like, you'll be all the things. I had to learn how to be a photographer. I had to learn how to do content on Instagram. I had to learn how to make a marketing strategy. I had to do a lot of things that I was around every day, but I didn't really understand what went to it in order for it to be something of value and to execute. So just think about all the different things that you do at work and all the different departments that you might work with. Yeah. And just remember that now becomes you. You become one with that process.
This segment of Hustle Talks is brought to you by Studio 951. Need a game-changing marketing strategy? At Studio 951, we help businesses stand out with expert branding, social media management, content creation, web design, and video editing. From crafting eye-catching visuals to driving engagement, we bring your brand to life online and beyond. Ready to grow? Let's build something amazing together. Visit studio-951.com today.
So when you started out, you were strictly just online.
Yep.
And then you made the transition from online to now brick and mortar.
Yep.
Talk to us about that.
Well, I'm gonna be real. Like I'm still learning what that transition looks like. When I got into this game, I never thought I was gonna have a store. That was never my intent. But one of the biggest things was inventory management. So when I'm selling online and in a market, like I sell what I have, right? When I opened up this new channel of in store, I don't know, who's going to pop in or what they're going to want. Right. So it's just trying to create enough inventory to make sure I can support all three channels. So that was one of the biggest transitions. And then just creating a schedule that's consistent with when people will want to shop, right? So like I'm usually here like business hours, but my customer is working. So I have to create space for them to come in and be able to shop with me too. So what does that look like ultimately? Are some things I had to put into place as well. So,
Yeah, I talked to some of my clients about pivoting. That's been my word for the year. And what have you done with your business to pivot? Because I think that's crucial when it comes to having your own business. You have to be able to, can't be stale, y'all.
Yeah.
You got to be able to ebb and flow as your consumer ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
So how have you done that?
Gosh, I feel like every day is a pivot, if I'm being honest, because to your point, like customers, I mean, I'm in a business where I have customers and that's what really gauges how successful we're going to be. So, for example, like when I first started, I just did like bath bombs. Not everybody takes baths. So I started to implement our shower steamers, right? So I just try to be more aware of what trends are going on, what types of self-care tools people are looking for, and then just stretching your mind just to pivot and just to see like, I mean, we're in business to make money. So like, what are other ways I can make money? I love to teach. I'm an aromatherapist. So I started to pivot to do classes, right? Just to teach. So maybe it's not always just like an exchange of like a good or product. Maybe it's an exchange of education and knowledge. But yeah, I really, one of the things I do love about doing markets is having that interaction with our customer to see what they're gravitating towards. If they're not liking something, what can I change about it? Just having that one-on-one time with our actual consumer. So, but as an entrepreneur, you stay pivoting, okay?
Right.
Knees are in good shape, okay?
Right, my feet are tired.
Look.
My feet hurt.
All
I
day.
want to fit
All day.
no more.
Yes, yes.
What would you say has been some of the most challenging moments for you? And how did you like pull yourself up by the bootstraps? Because I know there's times when you be like, should I go back to work? I just can't do this anymore. Let me just go make the easy money and do what I know. How have you like succumbed that?
So I'm not gonna lie. I was telling you when we first got here, I say it like once a month. Like it was so much easier. Let me just go back to work. But I know that in my heart, that is not what I want. And I want to continue to stretch myself. And I've learned that like when I do feel overwhelmed, I'm being stretched to do something greater. So the more I stretch myself, the better I become. Yeah. And that goes beyond business as well.
Right.
But some of the struggles is just like being alone. Like I'm usually here alone, not having someone to like bump strategies against.
Yeah.
I'd say like when there's slow months, like to those of us in the business world, Q1 can be a little quiet.
Yeah.
And you just got to think of other ways to like make money, funding. So when I first started, they were like, everybody wants to give minority-owned businesses money. And I'm like, but where they at?
Right.
Like, I mean, I've certainly been blessed with, some opportunities for financing.
Yeah.
But it's like funding is a thing too. There's other projects that I would like to do, but it requires larger sums of money. So, just trying to navigate that space as well. And then for me, I'm more introverted, which may be surprising. Yes, I'm so comfortable with you, girl.
Stop.
That's why. But I'm like, hi, I'm Jennifer.
Lies.
But just no.
Lies. She tells.
Just being like stretching myself to be out in like these networking opportunities and events.
Yeah.
I was not, when I first started, I was like, I do not want to go here. I'd be sweating. I'm like, girl, what you gonna say to these people? In my car, like, just go home. But again, stretching yourself beyond things that you didn't think you'd be able to do. Now, I just pop in, like, hey, girl, get what I need to get out of it and then dip out. So just be okay with stretching yourself and just know that you're creating something bigger in you. So,
So from your journey from 2020 to now, if you could sum that up into one word, what would that be?
Not a pop quiz. I guess impressive. I'm kind of impressed with myself.
Oh, I like that word.
I'm impressed with myself because I never saw myself as a business owner.
Okay.
I'm impressed with all the accolades, the connections, the growth my business has seen. It has been impressive, if I may toot my own horn. But I also know there's so much more to learn as I grow and expand and other initiatives that we have for the business. But so far, it's been cool.
I know sometimes I feel like when I first started out with Side Hustle Saturday, I had imposter syndrome. Like, what the heck am I doing? Did you?
Oh, 100%.
Like, I feel like I shouldn't be doing that.
Yes.
Who do you think you are? Go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that?
This segment of Hustle Talks is brought to you by Studio 951. Need a game-changing marketing strategy? At Studio 951, we help businesses stand out with expert branding, social media management, content creation, web design, and video editing. From crafting eye-catching visuals to driving engagement, we bring your brand to life online and beyond. Ready to grow? Let's build something amazing together. Visit studio-951.com today.
Who do you think you are? Go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that?
I just kept pushing myself. In the very beginning, I like, for example, social media, I was like so shy and I didn't want people to like judge you, right? Like I'm up here like, here's this soap, and I don't want people to be like, did you see Jennifer on Instagram? Trying to give us that soap. So I think I had to just get out of my own head.
Yeah.
And then recognize that people are doing this every day, right? For the first time, and just continue to just let yourself be a novice and not take yourself so seriously.
Now she being modest because her pictures are cute.
They're like trying.
Her pictures are really, really cute.
I try, but I mean, it's all, and then also being open to learn, right? So like educate, always just continue to educate yourself on different programs and things, just because you don't know everything. And the more you try, you do, and you learn, you're going to get better and better. So
100%.
2020 Instagram is way different than 2025 Instagram. Oh my
God, that algorithm, but we could go on for that.
I know. Yes.
We could go on.
Yes.
We won't.
But we won't. We'll leave her there. Yes.
So what has been the most rewarding thing that you've done since 2020 to now?
I think just the overall growth of JM Botanicals and being able to have my kids see it.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 kids. My son, he's an electrician and he aspires to be a small business owner too. And then just my daughter, who inspired the brand, just being able to see what it looks like to, she's still figuring out what she wants to do with her life, but just to know that like this is an option for me.
Yeah.
I think is pretty cool too. So they've seen it all. They see the good, the bad, the ugly. But just I know for myself, like I don't think I ever saw myself as a small business owner because I didn't have anyone that close to me who did what I wanted to do. Right. So I think that might be it.
Now, what advice would you give somebody that
Sorry,
wanted to get into this space, started out a little bit hesitant? What advice would you give them?
I'd say give yourself grace. I know I said that the first
time. Yeah,
and just a caveat, you were my very first interview as well. Like,
really?
Yes. And when I tell you I was so nervous, but I did say that in the first interview, and I do believe in that. So give yourself grace. Like you're not going to know everything. Allow yourself space to be taught, and allow yourself to fail because you will. Just get comfortable in that space. But as long as you have a desire for it and you want to keep going for it, it's going to happen. You keep working hard, it's going to have the rewards that you're looking for. So, yeah.
Now, I know you went through that Goldman Sachs program, and I've seen some changes. Yeah. Talk to us about that. Tell us about the program and how has it made your business better?
Yeah. The Goldman Sachs program was amazing. It was challenging. So you do have to commit to 15 to 20 hours a week. There's homework that you got to turn in. I was like, I'm back in college. And they were not playing with us. They were being honest. Like these are things you need to do if you want to have a successful business. They help you make an action plan for like a month, not a month, a year. But it's like in 3-month increments. But it's just being around that energy was amazing too. All those other small business owners, they gave you access to professors. That we had an accounting section, honey. I was like, child. But now I'm all together now. But it was just an amazing curriculum that they put together. The energy was amazing, being among all those other women. Like it was a good time. It was only 12 weeks too, which it feels so much longer. But because it was 12 weeks, there was a lot of energy and program that was squeezed into that small time. So, but yeah, I recommend it to anybody. Like apply, give yourself a shot. So yeah.
Now, where do you see JM Botanicals in the next 5 years?
Oh, in the next 5 years. One of the things I've been learning as I continue to educate myself and being an entrepreneur is I need to have a CEO mindset, which will require me to allow others to come in and do what I do, and me stepping above so I can create a strategy. Gatekeeping what? So do you like to keep things like to your chest and not like to? No. I honestly think I think sometimes I don't realize my business is scaling as it is. And I don't realize I need assistance. And I don't think I need someone to come in and help me. Like I really shouldn't be back there pressing bath bombs. Like at this point, like I should hire somebody to come in and do it. So it's not more so gatekeeping. I think in my mind, I haven't stretched it enough to be like, okay, girl, you got like wholesale accounts and you've got orders that are coming through, but you also have a strategy that you have to button up and get together. So I think that's one of the things like I need to like work on as a small business owner, just like think like a CEO. And CEOs ain't sitting here, you know.
No, you got to get out the. I would say you got to get out of the weeds.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah,
because so you can see some daylight.
Yeah. And then that's how I'll continue to see things on the horizon. So one of the big initiatives for 2025 is wholesale. You know, creating pitch decks and things like that I'll always have to edit and amend. I have to be the one doing that, but I know my business is still running on the back end, so I have to have somebody in here to do it. You know, so yeah.
Okay, so now I know I asked everybody what was your first side hustle.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any additional side hustles that you've added on?
No, this is hustle enough. No, but I mean, as I mentioned, like I'm an aromatherapist too. I would love to do more educating on aromatherapy and how we can incorporate it in daily life for self-care, and maybe create like a program for the community or to go into schools and teach and things like that. But outside of that, yeah, no, this is hustle enough for me, girl.
All right. Well, Jennifer, I just had an amazing time to sit down and I haven't seen how long has it been?
I don't know, girl. It's been a good
like
amount of
4 years.
Yeah.
And to see you grow from Etsy to brick and mortar, Shopify, now brick and mortar. It's been a great journey for you.
Yeah.
But tell the people where they can find you, girl.
Yes. So we like we said, I have a brick and mortar. We're in Worthington and the shops of Worthington. We also do a lot of markets. So we do seasonal Dublin market, Worthington market, and then online. So we have a Shopify, shopjmbotanicals.com. You can find us on Instagram at shopjmbotanicals. I be trying to do the TikTok, so I'm next time we'll talk about that. Look. Yeah, those are all the places you can find me.
Well, Jennifer, thank you for taking time out of your business because she's busy. Because I had to track her down.
She did, but I'm happy to be here. I was like, this is very important to me. So I'm glad.
Thank you so much. And everybody, you know, we drop a podcast every Saturday, so please subscribe to my channel. Follow me on my Instagram. Follow me on my TikTok. Follow me on my Facebook. Y'all know the drill. Jennifer, thank you so much for being on Saturday's Hustle Talks, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.